Nick Reed, I'm the director of Bolshoi Babylon. So the film takes as its starting point the events of January 2013, when the artistic director of the Bolshoi, Sergei Filin, was attacked on his way home from work. He had acid thrown in his face. And everyone was very shocked. It created world headlines, and that's what attracted my interest as a filmmaker. And we were allowed to go in for a day. But then about 3 weeks later they arrested and charged a ballerina with the crime, which I don't think anyone saw coming. And at that point they closed the doors to any press for well over 6 months. And it took us, so in total it took us about 9 months to negotiate the access. So the film really charts the events of the following season, September 2013 to June 2014, looking back at the acid attack and asking, looking at how the company was trying to repair their reputation as the world's leading dance company.
And how hard was the access to get it? I must imagine it would be very difficult.
Well, we were lucky in a way because after a lot of fallout from the acid attack, eventually the Kremlin stepped in and appointed a new director, Vladimir Urin, who became a key character in the film. And where we were lucky was that he, when we approached him for access, he very much wanted transparency to be the sort of byword of his term in office. And when we said we also wanted to make a film for the cinema, that made a big difference as well. So on those grounds we were allowed in for an entire season, which was a wonderful privilege.
Robert Edwards, When I Live My Life Over Again. Well, the film is about a retired crooner, kind of a poor man's Frank Sinatra, played by Christopher Walken, who lives out here in the Hamptons in a big old beach house. He kind of rattles around and he's a little bit bitter about his career not being all he wanted it to be. And he's on his wife, number 6, and he has 2 grown daughters. And the movie's about one of his daughters coming out to the house for an extended stay.
What inspired it?
It just, they say write what you know, but I don't know anything about that world, show business, family. I didn't grow up in a world like that. But I was interested in a guy like, say, Sinatra, whose art is at odds with his life. Sinatra, for example, his music is so romantic and everybody thinks of it in that way, and it is, but his personal life was very different when it came to relationships. And so it got me thinking about what it was like what it would be like to be in the orbit of somebody like that, particularly to be the daughter of a ladies' man. Really fortunate. Christopher Walken, Amber Heard plays Jude, who's the main character. Kelly Garner plays her sister Corinne. Hamish Linklater, Ann Magnuson, Oliver Platt, and a young boy named Henry Kellman, who's terrific in it.
My name is Adina Danziger, and my film is called Chopping Onions.
Okay, tell me a little bit about the movie.
This is a short film. It's about a 6-year-old girl who sees her Korean grandmother, over a summer, and it's set in New York City. So the girl goes to camp and she starts getting bullied and starts seeing kind of the pressures of the other kids and their different sort of cultures, and she begins to feel self-conscious about her Korean culture. So the relationship between her and her grandmother changes throughout the movie and becomes the tensions rise as the girl sort of takes out her frustration and confusion about her isolation at camp on her grandmother, and their relationship goes from this purely romantic, innocent relationship to something that is kind of open-ended in the end.
My name is Alonso Llosa, the director of Living Legend. This is a movie about an ultra-violent, successful drug lord in Peru who just bought a penthouse apartment. Now is ready to move there, but he cannot move out of his mother's house. It's based on a bunch of people that I know from Peru. It's a mother-son relationship in which the mother loves to keep their children at home, and the sons kind of love it, and they love to stay home, and at the same time they dream of having this sort of a very successful and masculine sort of a public personality persona, and and sometimes the two conflict, you know, being at home with the mother and having this sort of ostentatious, ultra macho image.
To introduce you to one of the stars of the film. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Belle Powley.
Hi, I'm Belle. I'm in the movie that you will see shortly. I had such an amazing time working on this film. It was a real blast and a lot of fun, and you'll understand what I mean by that after you see it. Thank you so much for coming, and yeah, enjoy the movie. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Please welcome Emily Blunt. My agent called me and he heard about it, and I had just had my daughter 4 weeks ago, and so he called me and said, I know you don't want to read anything. And I just said, I honestly wouldn't be able to read my own name right now. Like, what are you doing and sending me a script? And he said, I promise you, you'll really love it. You'll really, really love it. And so I read it, I think, a bit later, and then Denis Villeneuve had sent me a beautiful letter. And I thought the script was just completely original. You just don't get that many parts like that where your female protagonist is in this action-fueled masculine world and holding her own, and still a woman, not trying to be butch and swagger. And I loved the themes of morality in an amoral world. I loved the cycles of violence and everything it was trying to say about that and humanity. And so it was a really easy thing for me to say yes to. I said, as long as you don't shoot it straight away, because I was there like breastfeeding. I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine playing this hardened FBI agent now, you know. So we shot it a few months later.